Hey YouTube, Joyboy here. So, today I want to talk about Pudding and Big Mom. And guys, for me, the setup for this is it's almost too obvious. I was actually seriously contemplating waiting to talk about this until a little bit later because I do have really strong feelings about its importance in general. However, I decided to throw it in here because I think the connections by themselves are persuasive enough. But before we get into this video, I want to let you guys know about my Discord. Link for that is in the description. So yeah guys, Big Mom. Oda does not waste a lot of space. And so for some reason in the middle of the Whole Cake Island arc, we got this huge flashback of the events between Big Mom and Mother Carmel as well as the other orphans. So basically during this flashback, we learned that Big Mom ate, or it's presumed that she ate, Mother Carmel as well as all of the other orphans when going on some kind of food rage. Or I guess this would be more like food euphoria. And so the key point here, guys, is that Big Mom does not recall this. We know this for a fact, because Big Mom herself wonders where Mother Carmel went. For Big Mom, one moment, they were all there enjoying croquembouche, and then the next second, they were all gone. And so given that we were shown this, and Big Mom doesn't recall what exactly happened, and it's been emphasized that she is looking for Mother Carmel, that at some point she will find out what happened. Now it is questionable on whether or not it would occur in this arc or perhaps another arc which focuses on Big Mom, but either way it will lead to some very curious events. The question we must ask ourselves is how exactly would Big Mom react to the knowledge that she consumed, she ate, she cannibalized her own mentor, and all of her childhood friends. In addition to this, she got kicked out of Elbaf for going through a similar rage state in which she can also not recall what exactly happened. I bet she has no idea why the giants hate her so much. It must be confusing to her. And even in the recent chapters, she killed Charlotte Opera and Charlotte Moscato, her own children, during the same rages she has no recollection of. How exactly would she react to the knowledge that she killed her own children? I believe a lot of you out there would say that as for killing her children, she wouldn't care. But I will say this, for sure, no doubt, the knowledge of killing her own mother, her mentor, would be a big deal to her. And so then the question becomes, how exactly would Big Mom find out? How could Oda possibly be setting that up? And there's really two very obvious ways that we've been speculating for a long time. The first of which is Stroizen, who actually saw Big Mom consume Mother Carmel as well as the other orphans. This has been pointed out to us, so it's possible at some point Stroizen reveals information related to this. And the other idea centered around Charlotte Pudding, or Pudding and her memory manipulation powers. And so the thought was that maybe even though Big Mom doesn't remember doing these things, that the memories are still in her mind somewhere, and Pudding could perhaps extract them or make her remember. And the initial justification for her attempting to do this would be because Stroizen in some way or another intimates or reveals to the characters in the story, the heroes such as Pudding, that Big Mom did do this in the past, and this is related to her rage in some way. But now guys, we don't need a reason for Pudding doing this to Big Mom. We need no justification, because as of the recent chapters, it has been revealed a subtle way in which Pudding could do this to Big Mom without meaning to. Have you guys caught on to where I'm going with this? I'm talking about Pudding's latest revealed attack, Flashback. An attack which made the homies of the Seducing Woods enter a state of mind in which they believe themselves living their lives as they were many years in the past, in their original bodies. Now we do not know what kind of effect this attack would have on Big Mom, but I think that we should be highly suspicious that Pudding will use it on Big Mom, because Big Mom's past memories are important to the story. Pudding's exact line is this: "The memories of the person who once possessed the soul inside those trees will come rushing back to them, but only for a short while." So now let's insert Big Mom. The memories of Big Mom will come rushing back to her, but only for a short while. If this does not set up Big Mom remembering her past actions which she currently cannot remember, then I don't know what it is. And at the very least, it is way too coincidental for us to not consider. And so guys, this is where it leads into people saying that I repeat myself, that I make videos on the exact same topic. But guys, I've always been fine with it because there are new details that are introduced that require me to rediscuss things that I've mentioned previously in a new context. And so guys, with this very obvious possible setup to have Big Mom remember her past, what exactly will happen and how will it happen? And so as I have been saying for near enough to a year now, I see two potential outcomes. The first of which is that upon learning this information, Big Mom breaks. If you suspect that Pudding will be using this move on Big Mom during Whole Cake Island, I'm not certain if this makes sense. Whole Cake Island needs to be in some parts winding down because it's not going to go on for another 50 to 100 chapters. So currently we need to be looking for resolutions to the Whole Cake Island arc, and this resolution will be in part brought about by making the cake and stopping Big Mom's rage. But you need to keep in mind that if something like this occurs, then the Strats will be right next to Big Mom, who as of a few chapters ago would stop at nothing to kill them. So then once they bring Big Mom back into her right mind, they are again in danger. And so for Big Mom's mind to break at the revelation that she ate Mother Carmel shortly after they brought her out of the rage would be counterproductive. Whole Cake Island arc needs to end with some kind of resolution between the Strats and the Big Mom pirates, or it needs to end with them running away with Big Mom following them. It would be so stupid for it to end with Big Mom again raging and destroying Whole Cake Island because she's lost her mind after they have just solved that problem. So really the only way that I see this working is if Big Mom remembers all of this stuff during another arc where she will again go on the rampage and destroy indiscriminately. But if we're being real with ourselves, she already does this in her food rages, so I wouldn't see the necessity for Oda to introduce this only to accomplish something that he has already set up via a different method. So then if we conclude that Big Mom already has a rage state where her mind essentially breaks, what else could this Mother Carmel situation and her memories possibly be setting up? Well, keeping with the assumption that the knowledge of this information will upset Big Mom, you could wonder to yourself whether or not she would be motivated or want to be cured. I ate my mentor and my mother. I killed all of my friends. I even killed my own children. Please stop me from doing this in the future. And it is not like this has not been set up, guys. You have Big Mom's rage state, which is most similar to the children in Punk Hazard, who Chopper has first-hand experience dealing with, as well as present here in Whole Cake Island. If this information does not destroy her, it gives the Strats an opportunity to save her, to cure her. And if neither of these two things end up happening, and it ends up that Big Mom does not remember what she does in the past, given this flashback powers, you could theorize that Pudding might dig into her memories to erase them. And if Pudding somehow ends up inside of Big Mom's mind, given that she is now going to be a friend of the Strats, you could also speculate that she might erase memories concerning Big Mom and the Straw Hats, so that Big Mom will not be angry at the Strats, or at the very least less angry. This is literally all that I can come up with. If you have any other ideas, feel free to share them, specifically regarding what would happen regarding the Carmel and Big Mom and the memories. But from these speculations, you have two in which it becomes probable almost that Big Mom will forgive the Straw Hats, and then you have one in which is just tragic. So if you assume that this will take place in Whole Cake Island, ignoring the tragic story, which I said pretty much doesn't make any sense, then you are left with the way in which the Strats will be able to escape. That they will inevitably save Big Mom, or Pudding will manipulate her memories so that they can just leave. A lot of people seem mad at this possibility, specifically the thought that Sanji will feed her the cake and it's so delicious that she forgives them, but I don't think that it'll be that simple. I do believe it will have to be as complex as stated here in order for Big Mom to forgive the Strats, regarding past trauma and memories. But I want to say this again, which is just because I believe that this may happen, in fact might be likely to happen, especially if the Carmel plot is introduced in Whole Cake Island, that this does not mean that this has to be the very end of the arc, that after Big Mom is dealt with, there will be no exciting events at the very end. But straight up guys, the possibility that Big Mom becomes more friend than enemy has been set up for over 300 chapters when Lola initially said it. And it's only been strengthened more over the course of the Whole Cake Island arc with very subtle details such as the fact that Big Mom dreams for peace and an island where everyone is equal and there is no discrimination or racism, as well as her inner childhood being revealed as a very kind girl who has some very serious mental instability. But if Pudding uses flashback to affect Big Mom's memory in another arc, we're still left with pretty much the same set of circumstances. It would either give the Straw Hats a way to help or fix Big Mom, or it would make Big Mom break. The only way you could potentially think anything other than this is if you believe that Big Mom will never know what happened in the past. Which is pretty much an argument people would use when they can't justify their expectations with it being there. Because it very clearly to me will become important. Guys, it is really frustrating to see people still disparage me for my attempts to argue for Big Mom for Ally, when after the point in which Oda revealed that Big Mom loved Mother Carmel and then accidentally killed her with no recollection of it. This event by itself sets up very strange things in regards to Big Mom as an enemy. So over a year later, I am still here thinking that maybe Lola's words end up being true. And just to throw my opinion here at the end, whether it will be Big Mom as a future major antagonist, or Big Mom as an ally of sorts, or perhaps helps the Strats in some situation, I'm going to be honest with you when I say that I would enjoy both possibilities. That to see Big Mom play a role similar to Whitebeard is something that I think that I would enjoy. And in this way, it would seem likely that Big Mom at some point in time would fall. So to see superpowers such as Big Mom and Kaido, or maybe Big Mom and someone else going at it, and Big Mom falling, and her crew's reaction to that, given that they seem to respect her a lot, seems like it would be a very powerful moment. And this would also make sense in the context of something Luffy said way before the Whole Cake Island arc, which is he said to Peckham's that he would make Peckham's his subordinate, and as we have gone through Whole Cake Island, many of Big Mom's subordinates have become friendly with the Straw Hats. Thus, you would have just another example of Luffy using what Mihawk called his greatest power, or the greatest power in the world, his ability to make friends with everyone, including enemies. But yeah guys, Big Mom for Ally Volume 5. Let me know what you think. Again, if your perspective has changed from the last time that I argued, or whether you've been here the entire time. Remember guys, hashtag Big Mom for Nakama. But yeah guys, tell me what you think. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. Make sure to check out links to Discord in the description as well as Patreon. Thank you to all of my Patreons, you guys are so helpful. And as always guys, have a wonderful day.